Alright, so the other day, I'm at a store getting ready to check out. I was buying something. And I pull my wallet out, I pull a card out, and the cashier says, "Is that debit or credit?" I said, "It's debit." So I do my thing, but it got me thinking about credit. Cash or charge? Debit is the same thing as cash, but I'm sure that you know that by now. But it got me thinking about the idea of actually purchasing things on credit. You don't have the money now, you're like, yeah, I'll pay it off later, and so you borrow for that item that you want. And so today I just wanted to do a quick video and talk about consumer debt. Not a super fun topic to talk about, but it's a critical topic because we talk a lot about being responsible, and financial responsibility is another piece of that puzzle. I feel that it is my obligation to talk about debt in the sense of, you know, not like business debt, all right? Like you're starting a business and you need to take a loan in order to make it happen. Or you're buying a house and you need to take a loan to make it happen, or a car and all that. I'm talking about the sheer consumer debt that we as a society seem to find ourselves in more and more, all right? We don't have money now, but we want something now. And it's this need for immediacy that gets us into a lot of trouble. Debt is dangerous and should be avoided if at all possible under any circumstances. And if that circumstance means that you've got to wait for something, then you should wait. You should only buy things that you can afford, all right? If there's something that's above your means, then either you need to do something to raise your means, meaning make more money somehow. Maybe that's get a better job or do a side job or whatever it is. Don't rob a bank. This is not a good option. If you want more stuff and you can't afford it now, then you need to figure out a way how to be able to afford it. But utilizing credit in order to basically get it now and pay for it later, it's so incredibly detrimental and it's not responsible. I've been there, right? In college, it was my first experience with a credit card. I had no idea. My family didn't have much money. We didn't use credit cards. I get to college and somebody's like, "Hey kid, hey, with the pointy ears, come here." I'm like, "Yeah." So I got a credit card with like a $300 limit, and I'm an 18-year-old kid. Was I responsible? No. Did I have any concept of being responsible with credit? Absolutely not. And so I right away, bang, I'm like, "Yeah, I need a new pair of shoes." Bang. "Oh, I'm gonna go out and drink with my friends." Bang, charge it, charge it, charge it. Within the span of a month, I charged up $300. I didn't have any income. I didn't have a job. How was I going to pay the minimum balance? I didn't. I was a financial train wreck because I didn't pay it. And then all of a sudden I was getting these letters and I'm like, yeah, where I didn't understand the importance of maintaining a decent credit rating. And so they ended up reaching out to my parents. My mom's like got this letter or a call or something and was like, "Aaron, I'm getting calls from a credit card company. Do you have a credit card?" I'm like, "Yeah." I was totally irresponsible, and it took me a super long time in order to pay this off. By the time you're done paying off a high balance, the amount of money that you spend on fees and interest and all that is ridiculous. And it took me a while getting educated because I learned everything the hard way on how that whole process works. And so I wanted to do a quick video because I don't want you to fall into the trap of consumerism to the point of not being smart with money and getting into debt, because debt is something that when you've got a lot of debt, it consumes you. It is incredibly tough to get out from under, and it's sort of like a vicious cycle. Once you start, it's really tough to stop. So I'm sort of saying, hey, if you're currently in that situation, it can wait. If you really want it that bad, then guess what? Find money, get a job, figure out a way to raise the amount of means that you have and pay for it that way. But under no circumstance should you be buying shoes and watches and clothing and shirts and cars if you can't afford it. If it's outside of your budget, then you need to get a bigger budget or do without. The Alpha M private Facebook group got me thinking about this, honestly, because I see a lot of guys posting pictures of different outfits that they're wearing and looking for feedback, looking just to show off a lot of times, just to say, "Yo, look what I put together." And it's really cool, but it got me thinking about people thinking that they needed to buy certain things in order to, you know, present an image or a package, and it just it made me nervous, and I, under no circumstance, any of the videos I do, any of the things I talk about, under no circumstances should you be charging in order to get something that really could wait, or that you shouldn't be buying in the first place because you can't afford it. There's a link down below to that group if you want to join. You have to request to be a member, but it's a really great community of positive dudes. There's no negativity. Anybody who's saying negative stuff, they get kicked out of the group. There's also a video down below that I did talking about some ways to save when you're shopping for great outfits. It goes over different places that you can find great stuff at a discounted price. Also some other options that if you are on a serious dime, you can still go shop and find some cool stuff, but you just need to look a little bit harder. This is sort of like a public service announcement. Debt is dangerous. You don't want it. Business debt, different story. But even that, don't take more debt than you need, because you gotta pay it back. And we'll talk about business debt in another video, because I definitely have some past experience in that as well. This little magnetic strip, it's so tempting. It's like, hey, I don't have the money. Now just use me. Use me. Don't use me. Stay out of debt, gentlemen. It can wait. You don't need it. Don't fall into the trap of thinking that you do today.